That wasn't a fail though, because that was intentionally what we did.
A cat entering our video.
Meow meow. Chubby cat.
Really? You've never sat there before. Anyways.
Happy 2022.
Woo!
I hope you guys had an amazing break in whatever the holiday season looks like for you. And I know that we had a great Christmas season.
Nice and relaxing.
And we are excited to get back at our video making.
And today is all about us. We realized that we've never really gone into the details of who Lindi and Russell are.
We've never done a Q&A video. And we asked if you guys had any questions, and you had lots of questions.
Yes. So, I mean, we're excited. I mean, it's kind of fun to kind of partly is looking back and then we're looking forward. So you're going to hear kind of what our plans are.
So we can't answer every question, but we're going to do our best to answer a bunch of them. And let's just dive right into them.
Yeah. Okay. Who's the first person?
Right. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, here we go. So this is probably the one that we've had the most engagement on. It says, how can your husband be so handy and handsome? Oh, thank you. At the same time. Well, it's tough.
You're so vain.
Thank you, Russell Vanderscaff, for that one.
Yeah, Russell. What's the word? Kaiba. Russell hijacked my question page. Do either of you have other jobs? I'm wondering how much time you put into your channel. So, neither of us have other jobs right now.
Not anymore.
I used to work as a speech language pathologist. Russell
I was a bridge engineering technologist.
But now we are both full-time doing social media and YouTube and our blog and loving life.
I dabble a little bit in the contracting side, which I mean, I don't mind, but our focus is definitely the blog and YouTube.
Yeah. A few years ago, we actually lost childcare very suddenly, and I didn't have a good backup option, so we decided that I would stay home with the kids for a little while, and I started sharing what we were doing, and that started growing, and then eventually Russell was able to quit his job and join me, so that's why we're both doing this full-time now.
I joined Lindi last year in January, where I quit my full-time job for her to become my new boss, I guess.
He loves every minute of it.
Yeah, no regrets.
Does your husband enjoy doing DIY projects?
100%. I like doing it myself because I'm too cheap to want to hire someone else. So.
Very accurate. What upcoming projects are you excited to start tackling?
I mean, I think Lindy's probably a little bit more excited about this one than me because it would mean our kids don't have to come into our bedroom to use our bathroom. But which one are you excited for?
We're doing another bathroom.
The final one.
We've actually ripped this bathroom apart like 6 months ago so that we could do the ensuite, which I'm sure you guys all saw, but we had to run plumbing from the other bathroom. So it has been unusable for about 6 months.
Try a year.
And has it been a year?
I tapped into that at the beginning of last year.
Oh gosh. A whole year. So I'm very excited to get that bathroom up and running again. And I have some fun design ideas for that space too. This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a big space, so we can do a cool shower. And
do a lot of fun stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, how did you two meet?
So are we answering this for the normal people or for your Oma and Opa?
If it's my Opa, we met at church. No, we met online and had our first date in a Starbucks. Thank you, Starbucks. And continued that date all night.
Not all night. You remember this differently than I do. I took her for supper after we went for coffee, and then I brought her home at a reasonable hour.
And then we saw each other several nights that week because Russell was just instantly in love with me.
I was. I mean, it was within a couple weeks I told my best friend I was going to marry you. So.
See?
Yeah.
Thank you, love. Where do you get your inspiration from?
Lindy.
Yeah, he finds all the inspiration from me. I find my inspiration all over the place, honestly. Pinterest, Instagram. Often I'll see multiple different ideas and kind of mush them all into one cool new feature wall idea or one cool new room design. So I just take bits and pieces from everywhere.
My inspiration isn't so much in regards to design, it's like, what can I do to add extra storage? So like, I'm always looking at like, how can I add extra storage or an extra cubby?
How long did it take you to get to 50K subs? So we just passed 50K in December, I think. So.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
We just love your support, and without you guys, this wouldn't all be possible. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. I started monetizing YouTube in
May of 2019, where you made 0.3 of a cent. And it went uphill next month, 1 cent.
Big month for me. Tripled my income. I think at the end of 2019, I had around 3,000 or 4,000 subs. And in that year and a bit, we got all the way to 50K. So
2019, 2020, yeah.
Yeah. Are you hoping to build your own home someday or just turn your current home into what you want?
This could be my forever home, but it probably won't be.
The home could be our forever home.
Yeah.
The location might not be our forever location, which
So
makes
you're
the
saying-
home not our forever
So you're
home.
saying you want to move the home to a different location?
I would. I mean, we love what we've done with this house, but in the end, we're both from different areas of Canada, and we're kind of eager to get back to one of those areas.
Yeah.
So we thought this might be our forever home, but now, especially after the pandemic and being far away from family and everything, we've started to rethink that.
Well, and I think too, now we don't have a typical 9 to 5 keeping us here. Then we're like, well, why be in an area that gets negative 40 degrees Celsius?
It gets really cold here.
Yeah, it's chilly.
It's really cold here.
So yes, we have a bunch of ideas, but one of the ideas is, I've always said to Lindy, I thought it would be cool to build a house. And then when we moved here, my solution to that was putting an addition on this house, which still could happen, or maybe we'll try and build a house. I don't know, that might be crazy. Maybe we're crazy.
Or we'll just renovate again.
Or
if
do a
we
big
find a
reno.
great house to renovate and dig into, we might do that.
Yeah,
So we'll just see. You have to stay tuned.
yeah.
This is a great question. What talents or skills have you not shared yet that someday you hope to showcase on your channel? And he said, I think you should answer this for each other. So I don't know if we would ever really showcase all of Russell's talents on our channel, but Russell is a very talented man. Like you guys have seen already, but he literally does everything for us. He changes the oil and fixes our car, fixes everything outside and inside the house. Like,
Aw, thank you.
you are a man of many talents, and there's no way we would show all that. He has talked about doing his own YouTube channel at some point for all the mechanic type things that he does, but I don't know if we would ever do that either because we do enjoy working together.
Yeah, and I mean, in regards to Lindy, I mean, you've seen us do these big room renos, but you don't really see in behind the scenes and how she comes up with all the inspiration ideas. Like I think one of her unsaid talents is her interior design, even though she's not an interior designer by like schooling,
Yeah.
but I think she could give taught interior designers a run for their money, so.
That's nice. But that is something we might showcase more
Yes,
of. So if you
yeah.
guys are interested in seeing more of that side of things, definitely let us know because I find that part really fun and interesting. So have you been approached to do a home show? Your husband could have his own show. Would you do a show without me?
Not without you. Be terrified.
You could.
Yeah. I mean, Brian Ballmer is my man crush, so he does home shows.
With his wife though.
Yeah, maybe.
No, we've actually talked about this a lot. So HGTV Canada, if you're watching.
Our Grand Prairie home show, if you're watching.
I mean, I think that'd be so fun. We've never been approached to do something like that, but we do like being on our camera at least. So who knows what the future would hold, but
The closest thing to that was like the Marilyn and Dennis show
yeah.
this year.
Yeah, we were
Which was
on
cool.
a TV segment, which
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Has working together as a couple, did it bring you closer together?
I think it's closer. I mean, there's days where we get on each other's nerves. But I mean, I
Mostly.
think... I've complained to HR about this, but they told me to go away, so...
He's the worst boss.
No, I mean, I think it's like any marriage, you're gonna have... I mean, and we're fortunate. We've been able to... There's never been... I don't know, it works. I think I love her more and more every day.
Aww, he's so sweet.
And...
Someone actually asked us on Instagram as well, do you ever fight? Which, of course we do, like...
Fight. I mean, not
little-
like physical. That's frowned upon.
That's never happened. But we do not get in major fights. Like, I've never been like yelling at you.
You have been very annoyed at me.
I've been annoyed. And most of our discussions are around like, I want something design-wise and you want something functional, and we're trying to find a middle ground.
Yeah.
Or
Budget.
I'll let you guys guess which one of us goes over. But we don't have big fights.
I don't think you could do this if you didn't have good communication and you didn't respect each other.
Yeah, and each other's talents and each other's skills.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of your home?
I like the living room and dining room because we have this huge hip roof, open ceiling. The fireplace, which was the first project we did in the house, I think is awesome, and we get lots of compliments on that. But having the media center, it's kind of like a focal point for the kids. I mean, the kids, even though they have a playroom, well, the toys end out here, and we step on Lego.
But it's nice because we have this big open space, and we were actually just talking about this yesterday, that our kids we're all around each other all the time. Like, because we have this nice big open space and the craft desk here that they use all the time, we actually spend loads of time in the same space. It's actually really nice.
And for entertaining when you're allowed to. Previous years, we've had some like 20, 30 people in here for Christmas parties, and so it'd be the living room for me, dining room area.
So for me, it would either be my office, which we did, one of the first rooms we did in this house, and I love having my own office space and the storage in there, everything about it. Or our bathroom upstairs. Like, I love having an ensuite, and the one we just did is so nice. It's just so nice. Both those things makes me wish I did the bathroom like 2 years ago.
I mean, actually, an honorable mention or a really close second is that playhouse. I had a lot of fun building that because that was when I still had a really good job, so we could spend a little bit more on it. Like, is it over the top? 100%. But it was fun because you're building a mini house, and we got to just play and
the
be
kids
creative.
used it all the time, in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, even we've had sleepovers in there. I've had the kids in there for sleepovers.
Yeah.
So the playhouse, if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out.
True. Go see right now. Actually, not right now. After this. Given you have kids, was it a challenge to do these projects and be parents?
Luckily, we're night owls.
We are night owls. We'll be like, we're going to bed at 10 from now on. And that very night, we will be up till midnight.
So, I mean, weekends, we do a lot of things. And then between 8 and 12, we did a lot of things. And
whenever possible, our kids are around and we include them when it's safe, and they like learning and seeing what we're doing and stuff. Doing the outdoor projects through the summer is very intentional because one, there's a short warm season here, but two, the kids can just be outside running around and playing around us while we're working. And we have also like really specific hours that we don't work when the kids are home and around, and we spend time with them after school and stuff. So. And we try, like, when we're vacation, the cell phones go off and we're camping or we're going somewhere, spending with family. We're very unplugged when we're on vacation mode. Yeah. Someone asked, even though this is not your cell at all, what made you decide to reno Russell's childhood home? So there's a bunch of different things that fell or pushed us into buying this home. We had already been looking for something bigger. And on an acreage. I grew up on an acreage, and I really wanted my kids to have that experience. You just have the space to play, run, drive some quads and snowmobiles. Like, I wanted that for our kids. Yeah. And second, my dad passed away in 2013, I think so. Yeah.
And my dad and mom, brother and I, and friends and family, we all built this house together. So like, to me, there was some sentimental reasons. Like, even when I tear into this house today, I still see some of my dad's like handwriting and scribbling and math. Like, it's, it's just, I mean, it's a memory of him, and it's all, like, I enjoyed it.
He would be very proud of you.
Yeah. So there's that reason, which is this sentimental, and it's kind of that connection to my dad. And thirdly, I mean, you had a vision for what we could turn this into.
Yeah. We both are very good at seeing past decor and styles that we don't like, and envisioning a space as our own. So
that being said, I don't think I ever thought it could be this cool. Yeah. Right? Like, because this was grandma's barn. I'm not gonna, like, there's no joking anyone. When we moved in here, we had sponge painted walls, and it worked for my parents. Like, it was a nice house, but it was not us. We had pine ceilings, but I think this is the coolest barn in Grand Prairie.
In Alberta.
Yeah.
Canada.
I don't know if we can push the world, because there's some pretty trendy people out there, but we're pretty trendy here. So.
We like to think. Okay, and then, so the last question that we're going to tackle today is, how did it all start? And also, the other question from YouTube was, what advice would you give to new people that are wanting to start designing and renovating their homes?
There's hobbies too, if you want to jump into that quickly. Yeah. So 3 questions.
Okay, do you want to do that one first?
By final question, she meant there's 3 questions left.
Do you want to do that one first?
Yeah.
With everything you have going on, do you have time for hobbies? And if so, what are they?
You want to start?
I like reading and drinking wine with my friends or on my own. That's it. I mean, when I really feel relaxed is when I've had time to sit and like read a book front to back. That's the hobby that I do in my downtime.
You like crafting too, like that's...
I do, but now I mostly do it and share with you, so it's a little bit mixed in with like work. But I do, that used to be what I did to relax when I got home from work in my old job.
Hobbies for me. I mean, I really like mechanics. Mechanics and woodworking were my hobbies coming up to this. Like, I restored a boat with my brother and dad. I did body work on a car. It wasn't great, but I did it. So I would, like, my dream one day is to do a car from the frame up, hopefully with our kids, to restore. I think that would be super cool.
Yeah.
Woodworking, I dropped biology, much to my mom's dismay, to do woodworking in school. But look at me now.
Success story, Mom. But you still get to build sometimes, because you build custom furniture for people.
Which I love.
And yeah, people are always really, really happy, and you love doing that.
Yeah.
So that's like a
stress relief for hobby. And then board games, I mean...
We both like board games.
I like nerdier ones than you.
Yeah, I don't play all of them.
Yeah, well, I like nerd games, but whatever.
And we just like hosting too, I think.
Yeah.
We're like, I especially am very extroverted, and Russell slowly become more extroverted.
I was very introverted when we met. Yeah.
I've changed him. Men are so moldable.
I changed because I wanted to.
But, I mean, whenever we have downtime or like a break in our schedule, we pretty much always plan something with friends.
We're like, who can we have over? Which is sometimes ridiculous because we're crazy busy. But
and also, like, all the things in the last year and a half really put a wrench in all those plans. Yeah, so we're missing hosting big parties and stuff, but hopefully we can get back to that one day here.
Yeah.
Okay, now the real last question. How did it all start? And what advice do you have for people starting out on this road of designing and renovating their homes? How did it all start?
It's not the final question.
It's a 2-in-1. It's a twofer.
How did it all start? I mean, you started the blog with nothing else when we just got married, or even before we got married. Actually, funny story. So Lindy had the blog going before, when we were dating, and it was like an outlet for you just to talk to people back at home, right?
It wasn't the same blog.
No, a lot of that stuff has been archived and you guys can't see. But we went for our first date, and I sleuthed on the internet and I found her blog page, and all it said was, I had a great night, that was all, right after our first date. So I knew it went well, and I was.
That's why he asked me at the next night and the next night, because he was very sure.
She didn't find that out until like months in, or were we married?
I don't know. It was a lot later though.
Anyways, so then I would be checking the blog every once, but I only got that one really good tidbit that I was doing well. So.
Paid off.
So yeah, it was like an outlet for you, right?
Yeah.
And then it snowballed.
Yeah, it was just for fun. Even when we lost childcare, I still continued the blog just for fun as an outlet because I was bored at home with babies that slept 4 hours a day. And yeah, it just slowly grew.
We never went into it saying we wanted to be influencers or bloggers or have a YouTube channel.
I still don't like being an influencer, that title. But I definitely never went into it thinking that this was going to be a job. It was just fun, and I knew that Russell had a lot of amazing skills to share and that we were having fun doing it together, and we just started sharing.
And you like being creative and trying different things. You like pushing with our molding walls and feature walls. Like I'd never do that stuff to myself. So advice for people doing their own renoing a house. Don't look at the whole scale of the project or you're gonna be overwhelmed. You're gonna wanna come up with a general aesthetic and design, which is more of Lindy's department, but then you have to prioritize, and that's how we did it on this house, is what rooms matter first.
Yeah, I would say definitely try to get some vision for your home, like generally what you want the flooring to be throughout, the color palette throughout, and you can get help like fairly inexpensively from designers for that if you want it, but it really helps give a vision as you go room to room. And then we just tackled one room at a time. That was the easiest way for us to budget and save money for those renos. I mean, we're not wealthy YouTubers by any means. We just know how to budget and save, and so we tackle one room at a time as we can afford it, and that's worked for us so far.
Yeah, and don't just start tearing walls out. Like we come and we sit and we say, these are the things we have to deal with. This is what we want in the room. Like, are there some high-end stuff like tiled floors, tile heated floors, or do you want to splurge on a shower? And then we see what can we do to make that happen.
Yeah, we decide where to save and splurge. And also, you guys see one like 15-minute YouTube video where we plan and do the project and reveal it in the same video, but most of the time there's 6 months of work into every one of those rooms. Like 6 months ago we started planning and looking at materials and looking at design ideas and put it all into place over 2 months at the very end. Like, so there's a lot of, don't feel like you always have to be jumping into the next thing and doing the next thing, because home takes time.
I think realistic expectations too. If you're doing it yourself, you're going to be living in a rental. So if you're not a person that can deal with mess, you probably don't want to hire it out. It's going to take time. And if you add kids to that scenario, double or triple it.
Yeah. It's messier and it takes longer.
Yeah. But to me, when you get to do it yourself or with your spouse or partner, that feeling you get at the end of it when you have it all painted and everything staged and styled, like it's like, yeah, you did that. It's cool. It feels good.
Feels really
you can be
good.
proud.
So on that note, that's it.
That's it. That's everything about us. Everything.
Maybe we'll do another Q&A at some point, but that's all for now. We have so many good things coming in 2022. We have an IKEA hack later this month. We have a bathroom coming up in the next month or so, and we have some other fun projects. So stay tuned.
And it's going to be the biggest news that Love Crate Celebrate has ever said, ever. So
coming soon.
All
right.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.